Welcome back to Coastlines to Cranes. I'm your host, Shandon Harbor. This is the podcast where we research everything in construction, from the people to the culture to the job sites. And today I have with us Chad Fischer, Senior Manager, Aldrich Advisors. Welcome, Chad. So great to have you.
Thank you for having me, Shandon. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, Chad's also a San Diego State grad, fellow Aztec.
Go Aztecs.
Love to have the Aztecs on our show. And Chad and I met at the Young Professionals meeting not too long ago, and he and I were chatting, and I said, I have to have you on our podcast because there's so many new things coming out for small, mid-sized contractors around accounting. And you recently had a lunch and learn for our members on the One Big Beautiful Bill.
Yep.
Huge.
Yes.
Huge.
Yes.
The beautiful bill. And so there's a couple things. We just wanted to learn more about you, Chad. Yeah. We wanted to learn about Aldrich Advisors, what the services you could provide for our members, and hear a few tidbits about the Big Beautiful Bill. So let's kick it off and start. Tell us a few things that small, mid-sized contractors can take away from the Big Beautiful Bill.
Yeah, so I think the One Big Beautiful Bill was more or less of an extension of what the current tax law was, with a few tweaks. So I think the biggest thing is evaluating how your business has been set up, your entity structure. A majority of my clients are S corporations. That's the ideal structure for a small, mid-size, even large businesses can be set up as S corporations. If you qualify, there are a few qualifications to be an S corporation, so definitely double check those. Because being a S corporation means you're pass-through entity and you're eligible for a QBI deduction, qualified business income deduction, which is essentially a 20% deduction of your income. So really, the highest tax bracket is 37%. That can bring your income from your business, the tax rate, down to around 29.6%. So it's a big benefit for pass-through entities. Also evaluate whether you're doing the pass-through entity elective tax for California. That is a huge benefit for some of our contractors to kind of increase the deductions that they can get, because you're going to be paying state taxes anyways. And essentially what this does is you can pay state taxes through the business on the owner's behalf. So if you're not electing into that, you definitely should look into whether you can. And if you can, you probably should do it as well. And there's also been some changes to the way that you can depreciate some of the fixed asset additions that you have. So a lot of your equipment or vehicles that you purchase throughout the year, there is what is known as 100% bonus depreciation. So you can essentially write the whole thing off. If you buy a crane for, $50,000 or $100,000, whatever they go for, you can essentially write that entire amount off against your taxable income.
Wow.
And for financial statement purposes, usually you're depreciating that over 5 years. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, where your income's looking higher on your financials for your banking and bonding.
Right.
But then you're writing the entire amount off for tax purposes. So you're keeping taxable income low and book income high, which is, ideal.
That's key. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Wow. I mean, that's amazing, Chad. Definitely small, mid-sized contractors need to contact you to understand all of these things better.
Yes.
So that they can maximize opportunities for their businesses. So tell me a little bit about accounting. How did you get into it? It is one of those industries where there are shortages in accounting.
Yeah, so I started out in accounting. I kind of chose that as my major. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do when I was 18 years old, and I ended up going to San Diego State, which has a great accounting program, and I liked it. And I started off in public accounting when I was a junior in college. Back in 2017, I started working at Aldrich as an intern.
Wow.
And I've never left. I've made it all the way up to senior manager. And my intention is to become a partner one day.
Good for you.
And kind of build up my book of business and earn my way into the partnership. And it is a hot button topic. The shortage of accounting talent is what people call it. I think it stems from, less people going to college in general. But I think that especially at Aldrich, there is a great crop of staff that we have. that are engaged and driven to kind of help grow our business and grow their careers along with that. And so I think it's just kind of, the ebbs and flows of the world. It kind of, there's ups and there's down. There's people who, there's a ton of people that go into accounting, and then sometimes there's not, right? And so I think there definitely will be a bounce back, but just making sure that we're kind of marketing our business correctly, right? Like, it's a great, steady job.
Yeah.
And it's a great field to go into. I've met amazing people who have, taken it upon themselves to like really help guide me through my career, and also working with great clients as well.
Well, I have to tell you, you're one of the coolest bean counters I've ever met.
I
was listening to your story.
I
We were just having a chat before this all got rolling here, and you were telling me how part of the passion and what you're doing is in the accounting field is learning about the stories behind the family businesses that you serve. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, some of my favorite interactions that I've had with my clients is not necessarily how much money I've saved them. I mean, that's great.
Right.
They love to hear that.
We all love
right?
that. Yeah.
But just hearing how they started the business, how, especially dealing with family businesses, multiple generations. I love working with multi-generation businesses, family businesses, guys who have started, as apprentices and worked their way up and started their own business, took a risk. Seeing how my clients have started their business and become successful is extremely rewarding to me. And it kind of brings a lot of humanity back into what I do, because sometimes it's, it's numbers on a paper or a tax return, everything like that. And you kind of lose sight of, like, this is these businesses are living and breathing organisms, and they provide jobs and, everything like that. And so it's really cool to see where my clients have started.
That's great. That's one of the reasons why we started this podcast is the stories in construction. They're so fascinating, the multi-generational businesses. That's also exciting to hear how, like you and I were chatting, they grow, start at the kitchen table, then they're getting their first office. One of the things that is so important for mid-sized contractors or contractors that are growing is making sure that they partner with the right sort of professionals, the right consultants, if you will, or the people that they're going to partner with in their accounting worlds and in their legal worlds and in their insurance worlds, and understanding that those that are providing the services to them understand their business. And so talk a little bit about Aldrich and how your firm really understands contractors, or you specifically at Aldrich really, understands the construction industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Having the right advisors in your corner is essential for, building a successful business. And we pride ourselves on specializing in different areas at Aldrich. Me personally, I work in our construction niche. I work with a ton of contractors, engineering firms, and I stick to that space because, I've developed a knowledge of the industry, and I love working with contractors. But we have experts in all kinds of areas. We have experts in real estate and healthcare, everything like that. We also have, a lot of experts at Aldrich that are, outside of the normal CPA firm. We have wealth advisors. We have an outsourced accounting team where, we can essentially, come in as your accounting department. And we do R&D tax credit studies. Wow. And also we have Aldrich Capital, which, can help usher you through the process of selling your business. And I think having a specialized advisor that knows your industry and knows your business is critical, because there are a lot of nuances when it comes to contractors in the accounting and tax world. There's certain nuances to the financial statements that goes to, banking and bonding. There's a lot of different tax adjustments that happen, and a lot of opportunities to defer income and really, just kind of the tax code is
Yeah.
massive,
Enormous.
It's enormous, and having the right people knowing the right things that could play to the advantage, to benefit your business is really important.
It's critical.
Which is what we strive to do.
Right.
We want to be trusted advisors to our clients. We want them to have full peace of mind that what we're doing to their best benefit and providing the best service possible.
Right. As I mentioned, Matt Gorham from Rancho Mesa was on.
Yeah.
And I was sharing how, hey, if you understand me as a plumbing contractor, you get me. Just
Exactly,
like Aldrich Advisors. If you understand me as a contractor, I'm a multi-generational business, or I'd like to grow my business or pass it on to my kids, or my kids are starting in the business. I feel like I'm trusting you. So it's not just accounting and tax and all of that, but it's also you see me and you understand me, and there's a relationship there, and that's so critical. Just like we were talking about, if you're looking about what your future of your business is, succession planning, it's all under one hat there at Aldrich. And so what a great partner. It also benefits ABC San Diego, because when we have potential construction folks in the industry, they call us and they say, do you know an accountant that would specialize in the industry? And we say, we absolutely do. We know Aldrich Advisors. We can refer you to a specialist, if you will, that will understand you. And they're like, that's amazing. That's huge for somebody who's trying to navigate it on their own. Where do I go? And how do I know the person I call is going to understand my business?
Yeah, I think having that comfort on both ends, our clients knowing that, oh yeah, they're experts in the industry, they get the warm and fuzzies there. And then on our end, it's like, well, we've probably seen these unique situations before, and we know how to handle them, and we know how to, kind of efficiently, go through the process to solve problems or, help provide better service and everything like that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Chad, for making time this morning. I appreciate you coming by. Where can we find you? All the members that are listening out there, where can we find you?
Yeah, so we have a website, aldrichadvisors.com. We have
Fantastic.
locations in Carlsbad and in Mission Valley. We also have, we also have locations in Brea, all throughout the West Coast. We're
Wonderful.
regional to the West Coast. So
Fantastic.
We have a great team, and we're looking to grow, and we love working with contractors. So
wonderful.
It's a great
Chad
fit.
Fischer from Aldrich Advisors, rising star. Love to see you at all the different upcoming events here at ABC San Diego. Thanks, Chad. All right, everyone, that wraps it for this episode of Coastlines to Cranes. If you liked it, as the apprentices say, smash that like button, give us a comment, hit subscribe, and you know the drill. Stay classy, San Diego.